This team has no weakness at all, and that is mainly because of its individual pick being super good on its coverage with its moves and its typings. So today we're having a team consisted by Tentacruel, Oranguru and Kingdra. These three picks are gonna be extremely useful against the opponent, being pretty neutral against the entire meta of Retro Cup of Great League. So let's see what we have here, because we're gonna be able to use the future sight version of Oranguru. And trust me when I say this, future sight, after all, it tends to be one of the best moves that you can use for the entire meta. Look at how much damage we can do on the double, definitely a game changer when you compare it to Psychic. And of course, I know that on the previous video that I was using Oranguru, I was like, don't use future sight, it might not be that good. Well, the extra damage is always being appreciated. Look at how easy it is for us to even bring this leaky tank to no HP, and we kind of force them in using the remaining energy points that they have. So at this point, Kingdra can go in, easily farm down the Dragonair, and they back out. So a pretty solid win to start off the video. Basil in the next one, and this team has complete coverage against those fighters as well. So why not use a team like this and absolutely go on a rampage against your opponents and go battling? I think that this team has no weakness at all, and yeah, these battles are gonna be proof of that. Perhaps the only bad lead that you can get with this team might be something like a Unova Stunfisk, because Tentacruel is afraid of it, but the backline can definitely handle even that threat. And when you rotate around your safe switch, the Oranguru, then you can go in with your Tentacruel, farm the remaining HP that Pokemon is gonna have, and of course then you're gonna have something like a double scald for that Unova Stunfisk. So it's not the end of the world or anything, it's totally playable even against the Unova Stunfisk up in front. So right here against the Cresselia, I like Oranguru a lot, able to do a lot of solid work with those foul plays being super effective. And not only the Cresselia, but also other psychics like Deoxys, like Hypno. This Pokemon really has the upper hand. So if your foul play here is just gonna dominate on the shield scenario. Now we can go down with this, no reason at all to block for a second time. We held that extra shield while they have none, and Kingdra, when you are on this position, is gonna go on a pretty good rampage against the opponent. So what I have to do here is to throw on the perfect timing, and I do not, because they managed to catch on the Basil, which is pretty bad for me, and all of a sudden I might just have a pretty bad ending on this video. But we end up catching a Moonblast, which is pretty nice if you ask me, and right after they want to farm as much as possible, but they're gonna lose the CMP race, so Scald here is gonna connect for lethal damage on the Cresselia, and we're gonna get this victory. Heisenberg in the next one, and we're having Medicham for the lead. So yeah, total coverage against fighters, we don't care at all, and even though they can reach the Psychic, we can always get those CMPs towards our side. Of course, I'm gonna block the first one, thinking it might be a Psychic, but they're gonna get to the bait, and the Ice Punch doesn't matter, we can still play around it with our Oranguru. They bring into play this Dragonair, and of course they're gonna get to the Dragon Pulse. I was not gonna shield anything here, but because they have Dragon Pulse, perhaps they do not have Body Slam or Aqua Tail, so I'm just gonna take my chances here, and it is Aqua Tail, so no Body Slam on this Dragonair, but the Dragon Pulse was pretty scary for my Oranguru. Anyways, at least now I have some energy to spare with the Scald. At the back they have Regirock, and now we have one more Scald before going down. Tentacruel is pretty good even against its counters, and that's why I think that this team has no weakness at all. So we can definitely take one move. It is gonna be the Zap Cannon. I was not expecting this, and because they did not apply the debuff, they will just back out. And yeah, how did they get to do that Zap Cannon? I mean, normally all those Regirocks are having Focus Blast or Stone Edge or even Earthquake like mine does, but Zap Cannon, definitely not expecting this one. Anyways, we're gonna get the victory, so let's move forward into the next one against the Frostless here, which is kinda problematic, I admit it, but after I get that attack drop, I will try to switch out into my Oranguru, trying to catch one move, but we cannot do that. The opponent knows better here. As you're seeing, our Elo is kinda close to Expert, so a lot of skillful trainer this early in the season are gonna be on this range, so that's why we're having some high level battles here. Anyways, we're gonna go down to the next charge attack. Perhaps I should have gotten to my future side, that was too predictable to be honest, but anyways, Tentacruel can still go in and start going for the pressure and the scald. They are gonna take it, and I'm expecting the move, so I have to switch out to my Kingdra, thinking that my Tentacruel might be the key depending on what they have at the back, but it ends up being just Dragonair, and I'm just gonna go ahead and keep pressuring here with my poison jabs. So this team relies a lot on the fast attacks as well, not only the charge attacks, because fast attacks are gonna be pretty scary for this team. And of course we're gonna go down to the Shadow Ball, but it doesn't matter, we still did the best that we could, and Frostlass took a clutch win for my opponent. Well played to them. So into the next one now with a Medicham once again, and of course right on that CMP I'm gonna throw my Scald. Let's see, this time will they go for the bait or are they gonna go for the Psychic? Here it is, trainers, awesome news for us. And now on the switch we're met up with the Frostlass. What I want to do at this point is to catch one Shadow Ball on my Oran Guru, and that's pretty easy to do so because you can expect the Shadow Ball on the 7th Powder Snow, and because they definitely won't throw before I get to my Scald or at the CMP, because they can win this, I can easily catch on the Oran Guru. So foul play after we survive with 1 HP, IVs really matter on this one, and of course now they can finish us off with the Medicham. They have the shield advantage, but I have a feeling that I can easily go ahead and destroy down this poor Medicham. Let's get to the Scald. This time they will block, and of course their attack is dropped. However, I'm still gonna pop out a shield because I have a feeling that whatever there is at the back might be weak to my Tentacruel. I figured that out because they went for that overstay with Medicham, and because it is gonna be an Aurorus, I'm just gonna keep the second Scald for the end game, and I have a feeling here that if they get to the double Weather Ball, I can easily survive, while a Meteor Beam will still not be enough to finish me off. So what they want to do is to pressure for that third Weather Ball at this point. I will go down, but still we have the Scald ready to go. They cannot switch out, they are switch locked in here. Gonna finish them off. Medicham now returns, but at this point they have no energy points, and of course Tentacruel will be turned from a leader into a closer. Into the next one now with that Haxorus upon the lead. Crazily good lead for us because whatever they throw we can take it, but on the other hand we're gonna get debuffed a lot. Hopefully though, once again good news here, back to back, we're gonna be able to pressure with the Scald because this is a glassy Pokemon that we are talking about, the Haxorus of course, and Tentacruel can absolutely block here and try to pressure even more with the next charge attack. If they block here, this is fine. If they do not, I can have the switch advantage. So here comes Altaria, and I will definitely switch out and drop that switch advantage because Altaria can be deadly for this team if we are not careful. So Moonblast at this point, and now I have to answer back at them with a potential future side. They are gonna take it, big damage on the Altaria. Hopefully though we can easily farm down with Tentacruel. At the back there is gonna be the Medicham, and before they do anything weird, first I have to throw my Scald. This is gonna be a little bit helpful for my end game because I have a feeling that this Scald can be definitely a game changer. However, we cannot land that debuff, but of course they have the Power Up Punch version of Medicham, and because they have a lot of energy here, I'm just gonna block and hopefully we can have the upper hand. But no, another move. Is this gonna be a nice punch? No, not at all, just a Power Up Punch. We can farm down, Altaria will follow the same fate, and that is a great game. Into the final one, trainers, with a Charizard upon the lead, looking pretty strong for us, and on the switch we're met up with a Unova Stunfisk. So let's see how well we can do here, because Stunfisk is definitely a tanky Pokemon that not only can take the hits but also can deliver spammy damage over time. So here comes the discharge now, and we have the future side. I was going for the future side to nuke it down, but of course perhaps they knew better, perhaps they were already gonna shield even a foul play. They want to really avoid the battle with Tentacruel, since they have a Charizard up in front, and of course now I can easily finish them off with the finishing blow and the foul play. I know that I have at the back two Pokemon that I can definitely throw against Charizard, and one of these is gonna be the Tentacruel, the other the Kingdra. That's why I aggressively switch in there with my Tentacruel, and I have also a feeling that I can definitely go down to this Leaf Blade. Since I have a shield, they have almost no HP on the Victory Bell, and all I have to do is to pressure with my Dragon Breath up against this Charizard. So the battle is not over yet, they can still throw a Dragon Claw and try to finish them off, but I am pretty hopeful that we can survive at least one, and right after we can complete the farm down with the Dragon Breaths, and that will conclude the video. So that is gonna be all for today, trainers. Thank you for watching and for staying till the end. Just be sure to leave a huge like before you go, and of course consider subscribing to my content. With that said, I have 2 videos for you to check out, so feel free to do so, and I will see you all into the next one.